Alrighty, welcome to episode 16 of the Consistent Genius Podcast. I'm here with,
Lavear Whitney.
And Ian Carroll.
and today we're going to be talking about politics, social media, and high school beef. So something really huge in the news recently is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal, or New Green Deal. I don't know which one it is. Have you guys read about it, seen about it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It is trying to push for universal free healthcare, wages, social security, like monetary security for all, paid vacations. It's pretty much guaranteed. It's socialism. That's what it is.
It's socialism at its finest.
One of the quotes was like, I think it was like directly from the actual deal. It was providing care to all who are unable or unwilling to work.
Socialism.
Isn't it like base? Isn't there a base income? Like they throw down a base income for anybody, no matter what.
I'm guessing that's what it means when they say unwilling to work. And the rule for like supply and demand is like if people are willing and able to buy something, then they will.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Big econ guy over here, Bill. I see you.
Econ is a great class, dude. I would recommend it. But dude, she is trying to pay people that are just lazy. They don't want to work.
She's a loon bag. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she didn't get into that position of power in Congress just by her politics alone. She got in because people like her. She's young.
Yeah.
She's a hard worker. She just got in because it's another demographic to put into Congress.
I mean, I disagree with the majority of what she says. But I think how she's going about it is brilliant. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that I would say Trump said. I mean, Trump did, to just go on social media, kind of use that as a way to get in. And, I mean, it works, and you can share politics either way and go anywhere from that.
She definitely knows how to stir the pot.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
she only
for
got
sure.
like 12,000 votes to get her elected, though.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you think about it, it's not that much. But for a congressional turnout, I think that's like normal numbers. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a social figure. Like, she just knows what she's doing
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it comes to getting the publicity.
She's Alex from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And I think she's 29 years old. She was a bartender, and she has a foreign affairs degree or something similar.
She's college educated. It's not
Yeah.
that she's uneducated.
But her policy is bad. I think she failed economics class, actually.
She's trying to replace like all forms of non-renewable energy sources.
Oh
like,
yeah,
She's trying to,
99%
phase
of
out-
carbon emissions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the green
She's
part
trying
of
to.
it.
She's basically trying to make everybody go vegan, like trying to get rid of cows and
that's
stuff.
tough.
It's crazy.
And I think it said she's trying to rebuild or upgrade every building in the United States.
That's
Every one of
crazy,
them.
Dude, that's nuts, man. And then her only solution to it is, we'll make the billionaires pay for it.
Oh my, that's even worse.
And then as soon as they run out of their money, who's gonna pay for it? Like, there's just no solution to it.
Well, that's what people don't understand. The billionaires fund the rest of the country.
Yeah.
That's how people get paid.
Income taxes. Like, it's the majority of their income's already taken away by taxation. So, I mean, it's tough. Like, they're already paying for so much stuff when it comes to government taxes. So how are you gonna have them all use the rest of their money and income that they earn to like supply the wind farms and the other programs to like make solar power?
I don't think there's enough money with all the billionaires that there are. I think there are like 500 billionaires in the United States. I read that
Something
somewhere.
like that, yeah.
And their wealth would not do it. We're 22
Well,
trillion in debt.
they are rich billionaires, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the top 1%.
Well, you got to think, though,
got
Bill
a
Gates
lot,
and
but
Warren
yeah.
Buffett, the two richest people, they give out all their money already.
To an extent, yeah.
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 I know, like, Warren Buffett, he's not giving his kids, like, any money in comparison to the rest. I think maybe, like, $10 million each
Yeah, I mean, in
when you look at it, all of
percentage,
it.
Yeah.
It's wild. I just think I don't think it'll go that far. I think 80 Democrats voted for it, and I don't think it'll ever get near to, going.
No way that's gonna happen in the free market. Like, no capitalist is gonna ever let that go through.
Yeah, it's not efficient. It's not economically efficient. And that's why I said,
Big econ guy.
AOC failed
There it
economics.
is.
And another Democratic Party member under fire is the Virginia governor, along with the lieutenant governor and the attorney general of Virginia, too. All three of them under fire, the governor and attorney general, for wearing blackface in the past.
It's a bit of a mess.
And then the lieutenant governor is under fire for like sexual allegations. All of them are being called to resign. None of them will because, Democrats don't just resign, even though they call upon Republicans to resign all the time.
Yeah.
And then the next up, the fourth ranking political public servant in the state actually is it'd be like the House of Representatives, like the Speaker of the House, but for Virginia, and he's a Republican. So he would be the one. So if all three of them resigned, he would be the governor, actually, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So you think that's like the sole reason they're not going to resign?
Oh, yeah.
It's because of him?
I don't think they will. I don't think any of them will, but they should.
Yeah, they should. I mean, are you going to blame them for not wanting to resign over something from that long ago, though? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. It was
a while
different
ago.
time.
It doesn't make it right, but, because it's so long ago, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing when it comes to.
Here, move the mic a little bit closer to your face.
Sorry.
There's not like a clear line with that though. Like you can't just say like, okay, like 10 years ago you did this thing, so you're fired, but you didn't do this, so you're not. It's kind of just in the air for people to choose, and with this situation with the conservative coming behind them, they're obviously not going to want to step down. So
yeah, I don't.
So they'll take advantage of that line, but
it's kind of hypocritical of them because if it was a Republican that did any of those things, then they would be bashed.
There's no room for error when it comes to like that side, like the Republicans.
Yeah,
I feel like they.
Well, that's the same thing with AOC and the New Green Deal. If a Republican proposed something that preposterous, then they would get obliterated by the media.
I agree. Yeah.
But a radical Democrat, throws it out. Socialist, if you will.
Yeah.
And 80 Democrats vote for it too.
Yeah.
They're in support, and her constituents. I don't know what they're doing. They're probably going to vote her out next time around. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think she is. I don't think she's in her place where she should be.
Yeah.
But then she made the argument the other day that she's the only 29-year-old bartender in Congress. When there shouldn't be any 29-year-old bartenders in Congress.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't get how that qualifies you to be in Congress anyways. Like, being a young person in Congress, does that give you any specific qualifications?
I always thought it should be older people. That's just me personally.
Yeah.
Lavear, I hear you trying to chime in. Let's hear it.
Just a little bit. I mean, I feel like having that social media touch shouldn't. I mean, being younger, you know how to get social media going, and so I feel like that has some qualification. But also seeing what she does with her social media, I mean, you gotta look at that and just think maybe it should go to the older people. Just I don't know.
She does know how to stir the pot with social media, but you're also forgetting one of the oldest. I think the oldest president ever. Donald J. Trump is also using Twitter to his advantage and using it perfectly, stirring the pot and making every headline about him. The media gives him so much free attention, it's not even funny.
Yeah,
that's true.
And that's just two different sides of the coin, because she's like the young radical left and he's like the moderate right old guy.
Yeah.
Because he does have some lefty views sometimes.
He's not even Republican. He's just populist. He just only cares about getting his way. I feel like he doesn't know what he is, because whenever, like you said, he has left views, he has right views, and the border is sort of right, I'd say, but he has just varying views that don't make him a Republican. So I don't know why he ran.
I respect him for that, because I feel like he kind of takes it issue by issue. I mean, you get some people who are going to just go all the way right, and I'm pretty conservative, but if you go all the way right, I mean, if you're going extreme either way, there are going to be bads to it. So if you keep them in the middle, I mean, take it issue by issue, I think I respect that. But yeah, sometimes if you're just going with what everyone wants, then yeah, you got an issue on your hands.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty good. I think he's a businessman first, and I think that's really good, what we need for the country right now. Coming out of 2008 with the biggest recession since the Great Depression. And you got to remember what you said about the wall. In 2008, the Democrats were calling for immigration reform, and then now they're, flip-flopping, and now they're against it. They want to let everyone in, open borders.
If I remember right, Obama was like super big on securing the border, right, during his like terms.
I think I've seen a lot of videos of a lot of Democrats saying a lot of things that they now will not repeat.
Yeah, as soon as it flips, it's bad because it's a Republican saying.
Yeah, I think it's anti-Trump, and I don't think it's I don't think it's anti-Republican. I think it's anti-Trump because Trump just gets hated on, and people hate the idea of him.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just people attack his identity and. Because he's not a typical politician, so people don't like the change that he's bringing, like the difference in power that he brings. It gets people scared, so that's why the media attacks him so much.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfair because he's, I feel like people are getting tired of the typical, Republican or Democrat in office that just tries to please everyone, and I think I like that he stirs the pot.
Yeah, I mean, I like what he's doing. I do think sometimes he's a little loud.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things he says are just downright like,
he speaks,
come on now, what are you doing?
Without thinking sometimes.
Yeah, but like overall, his policy is generally pretty good. I mean, I totally get like if you have opposite views than him, or if you're pretty hard liberal, I see how you could come down and use that as an attacking point because he says some dumb things, man. But I think overall he's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I've said this once and I'll say it again. Right now, we're in the first term of his presidency. I think he'll get reelected. But right now we're seeing Trump 1.0. Now this is him needing to be reelected. After he gets reelected, it's reins off, It's Trump 2.0. He's going hard. He's hitting his issues. He's getting stuff done. That's why I don't think he's declared a national emergency yet. But I think he might, if the government does shut down in whatever it is, 5 days now?
Yeah, I think it's 4. I think it's the end of the week. But, I mean, with him, I don't know if I agree with all of his policy, though. Like, the tariffs, it's not a good thing. Like, I know, buy American, produce American, buy American, where people are just, wanting their jobs in America. I don't know if that's, the best thing, especially when, like, getting tariffs put in. It's just going to up prices for everything and create more, deficit when it comes to the national debt. So I don't know. He's just like the tariffs and his tax cuts. They have to come with spending cuts as well. But he didn't bring any spending cuts, so it's just gonna build up more of the debt for future generations.
I definitely do agree.
So there's some things that he didn't think about, but he does some good things as well. So
we do need to cut the deficit.
Yeah.
And we need to stop all our spending. But I think it's so hard because right now party polarization is huge. Democrats are far left, Republicans are far right, and it's very hard to communicate and very hard to like change things right now because it's the furthest it's been since the Civil War.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I appreciate taking it issue by issue. Like you can be really, really heated on one topic, but just because I'm conservative doesn't mean I'm going to just go for every single bullet point and every single view that conservatives have, Like, I think if more people would take it issue by issue or even just listen to what other people have to say, just create some dialogue about it, I think we could get a lot more done and more productive.
What I think people don't realize is that, like, Republicans and Democrats basically want the same outcomes. They just have different pathways.
Yeah. Like,
I think generally, just as an example, people want border security, but they have different solutions to it. Like, there's just multiple ways of thinking about things, and there just has to be civil discourse to figure out that way of solving it. So that's and I don't get why there's so much hatred being thrown around in the political spheres. Because, everybody wants the same thing, I think, generally, just different ways of getting there. So it's just what needs to change is people need to come to a compromise and figure something out that doesn't involve, being hard to agree with. So
yeah, the great compromise. That was huge back in the day.
Yeah.
That's like American studies right there.
Oh, yeah.
Good class.
That was great. A lot of work, though. I think my favorite all-time class was AP Gov, though. That was just so...
Yeah, I'm taking
Brian Patton. Brian Patton,
great
so
dude.
good.
Yeah.
I was texting Lavear the other day. Do you know Mr. Patton?
I heard his name. I haven't met him yet. But
Yeah, if you do take his class, I said it would be sweet to have him on the podcast.
Yeah, we're trying to
It'd be
figure that out.
I think the dream team would be like him, Ogilvy, AP Econ teacher.
No, you got to get Reed on here.
All three of them. Dude, that would be
Reed.
sweet because, I
Yeah.
mean, Ogilvy, I think he's never come out and said it, but everyone thinks he's like, you know, big liberal.
He is
And
a
then
big liberal.
and he hasn't said it because he tries to hide it, but, you know, big
I mean,
Republican.
he has the Reagan poster. He keeps a scarf on Trump and stuff.
Yeah. And then Reed, I think, is like libertarian because like
He's
some
a
of his
dog.
stuff he says is like a little lefty leaning, but he does have like 3 Republican presidents in his in his room. But he said all those were gifted to him, so I don't know. And anonymously, he said too.
Did you have Mr. Dye?
I did.
I feel like he'd be a good guest too.
Oh yeah.
He's very.
They all have a lot to say.
Yeah,
and I like
teachers
that.
of Kaufman on here.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice episode. Just
Isn't
all
that
teacher
isn't that
guests.
interesting how history teachers are the majority seem to be male? Because I can think of one history teacher that's a woman, and I don't even know her name because I've never.
This is Z.
Zimmerman, yeah.
No,
and-
wait, Z is in Zimmerman.
No, Z is in.
That's an English teacher.
Oh yeah.
A redhead
Yeah, I guess,
or whitehead, I guess now.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and then English is like mainly women from what I've seen.
Yep.
And then
Travis Barrett. It's my man.
science is mostly women, I'd say. I did have a dude though once. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Social media though. In the political climate of today, it's used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Obama used it a little bit. Trump's using it tremendously. I think he's doing great with it. He's using it great. He gets people to interact, and he gets his points across. If he wants to say something, he could do it right now. He doesn't have to, use the bully pulpit, or it's his own bully pulpit in his own way, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then AOC is like, she's using it to her advantage, and I respect that because she's using the tools that we have today.
Mm-hmm.
Social media can also be bad because now you're seeing all like the blackface stuff with the Virginia governor and stuff.
Yeah, bad things come up from the past.
Yeah.
I just can't handle it. I mean, I killed my Netflix subscription. Like, I deleted it off my phone.
Wait,
like,
you really took out your Netflix subscription?
Yeah, man. Like, I get addicted. Everyone knows. I'm a big fan of The Office. I watch The Office religiously.
That's
like,
a good show.
I love The Office, but yeah, I gotta kill that subscription because otherwise I would be watching it right now. I wouldn't even come out. Like,
Dang.
I gotta kill I don't have Snapchat on my phone usually. I mean, and like Instagram, like I don't kill the accounts just 'cause it's still fun to see what's up.
Yeah.
Get on every now and then, but yeah, I really just try to keep out of it if I
Dang.
can. But
I did the same thing. I did social media detox at the beginning of this year. It wasn't even like a New Year's resolution. I just felt like, I'm on my phone too much, so I just got off it because, I wanted more time to, like, do other things. So I just took everything off my phone.
How long? Like a month?
It was like about a month and a half.
Because I know you're back on
Yeah,
now.
I'm back on now.
And then
but-
you still don't have like. So you said you don't delete it, but you
So-
just don't get on it that much.
well, yeah, I mean, Jeremiah was teasing me the other day. He's like, "Yeah, you're a middle-aged man. Like, you listen to I listen to my audiobooks. Right now I'm listening to Atomic Habits about like just creating habits and trying to making small changes to lead you to where you want to become
Dude,
later.
That's sweet.
And so like I was listening to some of those and like some of the books that I've read in the past and just figured like, man, if I want to be someone and get things done, then I need to make the small movements. And so like I check usually Thursday nights. I'll get on Instagram with my friend Danny Hackett. We're both valets we'll work on at the Avenue, and we'll just go through memes and we'll just scroll through and I'll check my feed then and that night. But then other than that, I generally try to stay off.
Yeah.
Are you
stay
all about
focused.
that, like, self-improvement stuff?
I mean, it sounds cheesy, but I try to be. I mean, I really want to like just structure my life so that I can like overall be happy.
No, I'm right there with you.
Instead
I
of
do
that,
the same
but-
stuff. I listen to,
but
like,
yeah.
podcasts. I listen to...
Yeah.
I watch, like, YouTube videos on self-improvement.
Yeah.
Like, I'm same way. Like, I like to,
Yeah.
think things through.
Yeah.
Lavear's trying to make the best Lavear he can.
Yeah.
I am. I
There's
mean,
nothing
it
wrong
sounds
with that.
cheesy, but
Dude, I like
yeah,
that.
I am.
There's
I
nothing
got a
wrong with
stack
that.
of books if you're ever looking for some, especially like right now when like I read a book called Designing Your Life about like how to make a life that's most perfect for you,
Mhm.
and like right now is a good time to read that with me, like looking at colleges and
Yeah.
trying to decide all that. Like I think that was one of the best things I could have read like if you got time, it can make you a happier
The
person.
first
for sure.
book you should read if you're trying to like get into that stuff is Seven Habits of
Oh, I have
Highly
read that.
Effective People.
That guy's Mormon,
Dang.
Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
He's on the
Oh.
Mormon wagon.
Yeah, Lavear's a Mormon. He's a
Yeah.
big Mormon guy. He's sweet.
Yeah, but yeah, Stephen Covey's chill. I like him.
Yeah.
I might need to check that book out. Both of you
It
guys
is.
have read it.
It's a really
Dude, let's start a book club.
Dude, I got you. I got a list. I got 40 books.
Really?
My dad has a list of just tons of books. Like
Have you read any Ben Shapiro?
I watch tons of Ben Shapiro.
Okay.
I follow him.
Have you read any of Trump's books?
I have actually. I read
What's that one?
Becoming
the
a
Art
Millionaire?
Of the Deal.
Art
Oh
of-
yeah.
Yeah.
Becoming a Millionaire.
Becoming a Millionaire or whatever that one is. If you are a billionaire, or millionaire, you should read his books. If not, then you should not read his books.
Oh
Personally.
really? 'Cause
I
they're
mean,
like-
he's a winner. Like I don't care like whatever side of politics you're on. If you look at that man, like he's a winner. Like he gets what he wants. He has the money he wants. He's a president. Like he knows what he's doing, but he is not a writer by any means. Like he's
so you can tell
I
he's
read-
written the books himself though.
Yeah. I read the
Yeah.
beginning of his books, and you can tell it's like, it's not very.
it's
well
also
written.
it's a story about him.
Yeah.
so, like,
exactly.
So it's gonna be like, yeah,
Start
I'm
out.
great. Also follow my example and just be rich. Just I don't know.
Start
I
out with a
wasn't a huge
small
fan.
loan of $1 million.
Yes, small loan. Yeah, but like, yeah, if you're looking for people, Adam Grant is a great one. Wrote a book called Give and Take, just about how like if you're a giver or taker, if you give more in your life, then you'll be a happier person and things will come
Yeah.
around. But I could talk about books for hours. So
I like that. I
moving
respect that
on,
so
but-
much. Dude, I always I like seeing people happy, so if you like give someone a piece of candy and they're like, oh
Yeah.
thanks, like I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's the basic idea. But I mean, it gets down. It has examples and it's like matchers. So, I mean, you're not always just giving or taking. Sometimes you're like just matching what people are doing, and it shows examples of that. So, like Abraham Lincoln, he was a giver, and so
He never
like,
told a lie.
Yeah, I mean, great guy all around. I'm a big Abe Lincoln fan, but Abe Lincoln was a giver, and later in his presidency, people gave back to him, and so he got things done that people never thought would get done. So
Yeah,
things like that.
he was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Freed the slaves. Do you think who do you think's the best president of all time?
Abraham Lincoln,
Really?
and then George Washington.
Who do you think?
I don't know. Probably Abe Lincoln's probably the most influential.
Statistically,
Maybe.
it's hard to argue
Yeah,
with
I mean,
Lincoln.
I'm learning about it right now, but Theodore Roosevelt's pretty influential too, because
Yeah.
like he started those progressive movements. But I know it sounds like liberal or something. But,
Yeah,
like,
no,
he
I
started
respect that.
he started like movements that like structured the government and the way the country runs like to this
Yeah.
day. Like
Yeah.
he's very influential. Like conservation is like one of his big things, and he made sure that the Yellowstone and like
Oh yeah,
all those
national
national
parks.
parks
Yeah,
were
yeah,
not
yeah.
touched. And like I think he was just a good guy. He made sure our navy was strong. He set up our military to be like the biggest on the planet, and like he really made the country a power. So I think Theodore Roosevelt's probably one of the best presidents. Probably my favorite.
I'd have to say George Washington, but also because of the HBO series, John Adams.
That's a
John
good.
Adams.
Yep.
Because I think he was so underrated.
Yeah.
Second president, first vice president, third secretary of state. Oh wait, no. Wait, was he third secretary of state?
Dude, I don't know, but during
know
his
he was-
presidency, I disagreed with. I mean,
I know he's VP.
he's
though.
the reason
know.
why Americans aren't
I think he
Yeah.
set up a
Well,
lot of the ground stone,
French and all that.
and he was very influential in a lot of the stuff.
Man, call me weird, but I have a picture of Abraham Lincoln in my bedroom and like a fair amount of the rooms in my house. I used to have him on my phone case. Like I'm a bit. I went to Springfield for vacation one
Oh,
year.
that's sweet.
Like I'm a big Abraham Lincoln fan, but also like I've read like George Washington and Hamilton, like the big Ron Chernow, like 1,000-some pages biographies by them, and they're good people. Like Washington, yeah, he knew what he was doing.
I respect
Yeah.
that. Washington's very humble,
He
and
he didn't necessarily want to run for like
yeah,
he never really wanted to be the president, but he
it was
just
like
did
a
that's,
unanimous
yeah.
vote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was to serve his country, and he just knew he had to do it. He didn't really want to do it, but he had to do it.
I respect that.
Yeah.
See, if you could pick like 3 people to like eat lunch with or whatever, I'd pick probably like Trump, Washington, and then I'd pick someone like different for the last one. Probably like a movie star. Oh, Howard Stern, dude. Do you guys know Howard Stern?
Yeah.
He's on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And he is a talk show host.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like raunchy and like outrageous. He was like the first one to ever like broadcast like a naked lady in the office and like doing like crazy stuff. And
he's hilarious.
He is hilarious. He's funny.
Yeah, I'd probably do it with like somebody like Jordan Peterson. You know who Jordan Peterson?
Yeah. He's a very smart guy.
But he's like also like a philosophy. He has like good philosophy too. I'd like to like learn some lessons from him.
Yeah.
I don't know, like.
Is he a psych major? I feel like I heard that.
Yeah, like Canadian. I think he was.
Wait, what does he teach?
He was a professor in Canada.
Yeah, I just remember. I just
Toronto.
forget what class.
I think Billy might be right. I think he was a
psychology
but
professor.
But you said philosophy too.
He was
yeah, because I listened to one of his lectures and he compares Pinocchio to like life.
Yeah, I mean
he's smart. He makes money off of YouTube and stuff.
He's
he makes
smart dude.
money.
That's why he would teach some good lessons. So like that's who I'd like to sit down with probably.
I would put Abraham Lincoln on there.
Yeah,
I mean I've said it a couple times, but Abraham Lincoln for sure. Probably Adam Grant.
Who's that?
He's one of the authors of some of the books that I like. Adam Grant, and then probably Greg Popovich. I'm a big Spurs fan. Best coach ever.
I like that. Oh, Tom Brady'd have to be on the list too. Then, jeez.
Gotta
respect the GOAT.
Dude, he's the best ever.
Yeah.
He's got a
and
good
Edelman,
story,
dude.
Too. His story could be a movie.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, I watched a documentary about him. He was like, it was phenomenal. He was like back up. Yeah, just
what 199th pick in the NFL draft.
Something like that, dude.
And then he didn't even start at Michigan. He just decided to keep playing because like he was behind somebody in the depth chart, and he was gonna quit at Michigan, and then that guy quit, and so he's like, might as well play. And then from there on, he just kept
Hey,
going.
if you guys have seen like Blue Mountain State though, the backup quarterback is like the best position ever because like you don't do any work, and then like no one has to rely on you until you're in. Obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, wait, what was our third thing? Oh, high school beef. Wait, I actually want to touch on something before with the self-help stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
I read this thing online. If you're looking for a companion, like of the opposite sex, or gender and sex, same thing. There are 2 of them. That's just the fact. But let's move on from that.
I love it.
If you want to find someone that is, you got to make a list of everything that you want in a person. So, like, let's say I want someone that's sweet, loving, humble, caring, arrogant, because a little bit of arrogance is good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you take a look at that list, and you become that yourself. So you become what you want, and then people that are like that will be around you.
Yeah,
that's what I read.
You would like some of the self-help stuff. Like it's cheesy and it's middle-aged or whatever, but like some of it is good. Like yeah. If you like that kind of thing, you'll get there.
I would love to check that out because I love making myself a better person. I like to think that I'm really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this podcast that my brother put me onto. It's called the Jason Stapleton Program.
Never heard of that.
It was initially just solely politics mostly, but now he's all about like self-help. He's like an influencer, so he talks about getting things done and like what you need to do to like be successful. He's done way more of that lately, but it's a good podcast if you're looking for something to listen to.
Yeah.
Have you seen like that Marine? I forget who it is. It's like a famous dude.
Goggins.
Texas.
Goggins.
Wait, was it the Texas speech?
Goggins.
At graduation.
No. It's like he preaches like wake up at like 4:30, start your day before everyone else, get at the edge.
I
like
think you're talking about David Goggins.
It might
if
be.
I'm pronouncing that right. But
Bald.
Yeah, and he like was like 300 pounds or something. He was like, and then he decided he was going to be a Navy SEAL. Is that what you're talking about?
It might be. I know he was a former Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Or Marine. One of them too.
Yeah, well, he was only like the 36th African American Navy SEAL to like ever get through the program. He actually did the program like 3 times or 2 times, and like twice in the same year. So like he couldn't finish one of the trainings because he got sick or something, and the doctor said, yeah, you're done. So the his like commanding officer said you're gonna have to go through the program again, and he went and did it again, or a third time as well, and then got through and became a Navy SEAL. He's a monster. He runs like 100-mile races and stuff.
I
Like,
can't run 1 mile.
He's crazy. he's so driven and just
Big valet guy, huh,
yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.
I'll take the
So,
elevator.
That's sick, though.
Yeah, but that guy, he's a monster. He's also a very good motivational speaker and just knows a lot about, going from your gut. Like, he has the 40% rule. Like, if you feel tired, your body's only gone through like 40% of its energy that it has.
Oh, no way. That's actually a smart way to think about it.
That's the way that the Navy SEALs think. So, like, if you feel, tired and you're running, your body's just using it as like a safety net. Like, it's trying to not make you expend all your energy.
Yeah.
That's like just, primal instincts.
You saying stuff about like the Navy SEAL training over and over. Have you heard of Dan Blazarian? I mean, obviously you guys have.
I think I've heard the name.
I've not.
The guy on Instagram with all the girls. He was like,
Dude, that's why I delete Instagram.
Oh,
I don't
it's
want to
like-
see these
it's
girls.
this dude, and he was like a poker player, won a lot of money, was in the Navy SEALs, yada yada yada, and now he started like a cannabis company, and that's doing great too. But like, he's just a dude that just lives life, has a great time, and he's like all over social media, big guy. But he went to the Navy SEALs and he like broke his leg, but he kept doing it. And it's very interesting. I listened to him on like Joe Rogan, and I don't know if you guys ever listened to Joe Rogan,
I love
but
the
like,
Joe Rogan podcast.
yeah, he's good to listen
So
to.
good. Yeah.
But then also, you said something about valeting cars, and that brought up an interesting topic about you. You don't have your license yet.
No, I do not. Not. I mean, partially by my own fault. Laziness. I decided to do it online.
Yeah, that's
So,
tough. I went and sat in the classes.
It's online is not the way to go. It's so because it's up to you to do it. So like if you have other priorities, you're not gonna.
You need to be disciplined.
Yeah,
man. You need to read some books and then be able to do it.
At the same time, it's just like if you have other priorities like homework or something, like you're gonna do that before you do online.
Just do 2 minutes a day.
Yeah, I mean
that's the way to go. 2 minutes a day.
But do you know how it works?
Oh no.
Oh well,
Okay, get a
you
little
just
closer.
so like
I'm just saying.
you just
You're right.
you get into the course and say you're on like the first course. It gives you a set time that you have to be in that module, even if you
Then
get.
you just get on your phone and you chill.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do if you finish it. But like you had like one of them, like the one that. All right, let me tell you about the setback though. So basically, I go on like 2 weeks ago, and
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I go on to keep going, working on it.
Yeah.
And it gives me this like pop up and says, yeah, you didn't complete some of the other courses, like some of the other lessons, so you need to go back and do them. And I keep clicking through them, and it says I missed like 5 courses, and it sends me back to halfway being done for some reason. And so I like called the customer support, and they're like, yeah, we sent out an update, and so it screwed everybody's online thing up. So it sent me back. I was almost done, and it sent me all the way back to halfway being done. And the one that's 5, like there's one that's 5 hours, and I thought it was gonna make me have to redo the one that takes 5 hours sitting there. But you have to let it run for 5 hours while doing this.
That's
course.
when you watch a couple movies, man.
I mean, that's what I did. I just sat there and just would have something off to the side and finish it, and then let the time run out. So, or like I'd go to school and watch it, run out and stuff.
That's
so
smart.
yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I really wish I would have done it in the classes because I would already have my license by now. But I decided maybe it'd be easier online.
Dude, once you get your license though, it's like so free.
Dude,
Yeah.
I couldn't get my license till I got my Eagle Scout.
Wait,
That's
why?
just how my parents were. They're like, yo,
Okay.
you're not getting your license till. So
Wait, are you still in the Eagle Scouts?
Oh no.
I
mean,
because you know Swick, right?
Sure, I am. I know a lot of Eagle Scouts. Ryan Jenkins,
I don't know.
good guy.
But no,
yeah,
Swick was in the Boy Scouts for the longest time.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did it. I showed up. I got my Eagle.
When did you quit the Eagle Scouts?
So I got my Eagle June of 2016.
And that's when you got your license?
My birthday's in September, so I could have had my license for like 8 months.
Dang.
but I got it in June, and that week was the last week that I did stuff with Scouts.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
And
I was not a fan.
So
not
now you
gonna
got your
lie,
license.
You're just doing it because
got my license, yeah.
Now me and Lavear work at the same place.
Yeah, we're
valeting cars. I don't know if you ever heard about this. Have you ever heard about it from anyone?
Big time, man.
Yeah, so we go around these restaurants and we valet and park the cars and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's a pretty cool job, dude.
Yeah.
Once
Got
you're
some
old enough
cool
to
cars.
do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you drive anything like nice, like
What's cool car you driven?
I mean, one time I was working, a Lambo pulls up in the lane.
No. Wait, did you drive it?
No, they parked it in the lane. They weren't having anyone touch that. But
no way, they wouldn't let you. They said, "Let's park it here."
Well, I mean, they parked it in like the second lane. I was at
yeah.
the avenue, so there's like a second lane.
Did you say anything about it? Were you like, "Oh"?
I mean, the dude was taking pictures, so I was like, "Yeah, you've kind of a decent car there." No, I'm just playing, but other than that, I drove a Porsche 911. I mean, you get the occasional Porsche, or I drove some nice BMWs, but
yeah, I think the BMWs are sick. The Jags and Porsches are cool. I've only driven Jag and Porsche SUVs though.
Oh,
and then
you're getting ripped.
I know.
Some
I am.
of those are so
I think
nice.
the nicest ride though is the Lexus, man.
Dude, you're so weird.
Oh, so nice, dude. Drove one
Anything
yesterday.
stick shift, man.
I can't
Stick
drive
shift.
them. I can't drive them, sadly. Do you drive? Well, you don't even drive. So never mind.
I mean, my brother's a big car guy.
Do you know?
So I grew up with cars a lot.
Will you learn how to drive stick shift?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay.
I'd like to.
Because like on paper I do know, but like I couldn't execute. You know. Same with like I know how to play football. I just always can't execute. You know.
Yeah.
I know I need to run that mile. I just cannot execute. That's a tough one too.
2 minutes of running every day. You'll get there.
I need to, honestly.
2 minutes of running.
See, that's one thing about like I need to read some self-help books about working out because I want to work out every day, but like going to the gym is already a 15-minute process just going there.
So I have a habit. So I like to run, and so my goal is to run every day. But my habit is that I'm trying to create is not running every day. My habit is getting my shoes on, getting ready to run, and going outside for 2 minutes every day. That's it. So like, if I go out and my shoes are on, I got my water bottle like already fueled up, ready to go, the chances of me going back inside and undoing everything I just did are pretty slim. So yesterday I put on all my shoes and got all ready, and I was like, I really don't want to run. It's cold outside. There's snow on the ground. I'm about to get wet. Just put in the AirPods. Quick flex, sorry. Put in the AirPods. Listen to my book.
Can you understand us right now? Because
yeah,
you
sorry,
don't speak broke boy, do you?
Yeah, sorry. Nah, I'm just. Yeah, I got them underneath here. No, but I put in the headphones and just start running, and I only ran a mile yesterday, but
only
I still
a mile. This guy over here.
I mean, for me, like I like running, so a mile's not that much.
Dude.
So I ran a mile, and then next time, so today when I go running, I'll run more. But just that habit of getting ready and going out is, I think, is what sets it all up. So even if you don't want to run, if you want to just go to the gym, if you're like, all right, I'm just going to go to the gym every day, I'm just going to get ready and go. If you show up, or if you say, I'm going to go to the gym and do 1 rep, odds are you're not going to stop at 1 rep. You're going to finish that set and maybe go on to others. And even if you're not, you're setting that groundwork so that when you do have more motivation, you can.
Yeah. As soon as you get like the flow of going to the gym, it just comes like you want to do it. Like I can't go more than like a few days without going to the gym because I feel like gross. Like I feel like I'm out of shape.
Like
just
sluggish, yeah.
Yeah, and so like for me, I've been working out for a pretty long time, but back in like 7th grade is when I first started going to the gym and really lifting, or like 8th grade actually, and for me the hardest thing was going, like the first 2 weeks is the hardest because you know you're tired and you're sore from the day before, but then you go and lift and get a lift and you feel good afterwards. It's just a process of getting past the difficulties.
Yeah.
And as far as habits go, like you get credit just for showing up.
Yeah.
Like, if you show up and do a little, like that's all you need to do.
See, like back in the
more
day
next day.
when I like did football, like we would obviously have to go like 3 times a week, And like after a while, like the soreness does go away because you just get like you get used to it. Your body's pretty like good, and you can do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just need to get back on the horse, and I need to become efficient with my time. So like if I have to be somewhere at 4, get out of school at 2, from like 2 to 3, I got to work out. 2 to 3:30, I got to shower and get ready by 3:45. I just need to get efficient with my time and like quit lollygagging. Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, dude, that'd be so nice to be able to like just go lift, get it over with, and have that set.
I do like I used to be shorter, but now that like the off season's happening, I do like 6 days a week.
Dang.
And so on
Sundays off.
Sundays off, yeah.
Day of
And
worship.
It depends on what I do, but
Day of worship.
but on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we do the team lifts, and
Team lifts kind of suck, I will say.
I mean, I think they're good because they have a program set, and I think it's been working for me when it comes to strength gain. But
I respect that.
But then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I get up in the morning and lift before school, and then Saturdays I do this like speed training with people.
Oh yeah, I
But
used to do speed training too.
Yeah, but the like Tuesdays and Thursdays I get up pretty early, and for me, if I don't feel like going every single time, so I just need to think, like, you have that first, like he said, you have that first small victory of putting your shoes on. For me, it's as soon as you hit the off button of the alarm, you have to sit up, and then okay, I sat up, so I can go do the next thing. It's like just small goals.
That's smart,
Like,
dude. I like it. I like what you guys are doing with these small goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say one more thing before we end. I think both of you saw over here we have a crack in the window. Do you see this?
Oh,
here?
yeah.
So see what that tree is?
Oh, geez.
So apparently, like, they were in the office, and I wasn't here. I don't know if he was in his office or not, but the guy over here, like, something happened, and they were like a loud boom, like crash or whatever, and the tree like hit this wood, is what they think, and made the glass like break from hitting the wood. And
is that where that part broke off? Is that what you're talking about?
See, like that right there?
That's crazy.
Yes, there's like a big crack because there used to be like a tiny crack up there from before they moved into this office, but now it's huge.
That's crazy.
But I think that's all we got here today.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have anything else to add.
That's all I got.
I'll plug the Instagrams down below in the description of the YouTube video. But
Appreciate it. I'll have to hop back on for the week.
Of course.
See what's up.
But I will have to say, if you're listening to the podcast, please check us out on Instagram at Consistent Genius on Instagram. If you listen on YouTube, we're also on iTunes and Spotify, so you can subscribe on both those services. And you can find us all over the place on social media. Lavear and Ian, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me, man.
And we'll see you next week. Thanks. See ya.
Adios.